So let's start at the very beginning because Julie Andrews reckons that's the best place to start. So, I mean, you've been in politics for quite a long time now.
Yes, it was 25 years on Tuesday this week.
Wow, there we go. Why did you initially get into politics?
I often say that it was just being in the right place at the right time. And in part it was. There were a sequence of events that preceded my being elected to Parliament that just kind of led me to there. And that was that our union that I was working for at the time. Anyway, the union had... I'd been involved in the Christchurch Central electorate. The union was affiliated to the Labour Party. I had moved into the Littleton electorate at that time. I was married for the first time. And then Geoffrey Palmer announced that he wasn't going to run again very much at the last minute. It was very, very late notice. And so I guess all of the people that might have put themselves forward to run for Christchurch Central already had seats or were already committed. And so in some respects I was quite lucky in that regard. I was able to put my name forward. Not that it was something I wanted to do necessarily to start with, but I was persuaded that I should, and I did, and I won the selection. There were 9 candidates, so it wasn't just a straightforward walkover by any means, and I did have to sort of fight for it. And but it was such a short space of time. I was selected on the 19th of September 1990 and elected on the 27th of October, and I was only 30 years old.
And 23 years later, you resigned and said you're going to run for mayor.
That's right, and that was also very similarly something that people persuaded me to do. So it wasn't something on my bucket list to become the mayor of Christchurch, but when people talked to me about what the city was confronted with and all of the things that I'd said in Parliament about what the city needed, I really felt that I did owe it to a city who's been pretty good to me, born, bred, raised here. I couldn't say no.
And have you enjoyed the switch to local politics? Has it been quite different? Or
quite different, yes. Enjoy's not quite the right word, but I have never regretted the decision, never. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how horrible the trolls are on online reporting, nothing will make me regret making the decision that I did. And the reason that I don't regret it is that every day I have somebody that I don't know come up to me on the street and say, "We think you're doing a great job." It's my background of experience in central government that means I know what government wants from the city. So although nothing really could have prepared me for the difference between local government and central government, I think my central government experience has really stood me in good stead in this role.
Do you see yourself running again?
I haven't decided yet. So the thing is that, and this is what I said at the time, because my husband, who didn't want me to run in the first place, he said if you do run, you'll have to run for more than one term because you won't want to leave something that's unfinished, and it won't be finished in 3 years. And he said you'll have to do at least 2 terms. And I said, well, why don't I just wait and see? And look, a week's a long time in politics. I've been away for 3 weeks, and a lot happens. So I think that if I look at it next year, and if we've achieved what we set out to achieve, which was to get the city back on its feet, to get it fit for purpose, is the phrase the chief executive is using, fit for purpose in terms of, or fit for future, then anyone can take over the role of mayor. It's a question of the right person for the job at the time. And if the city needs me to continue in that role, and I don't mean the trolls on stuff because they never will need me, but if I'm needed, then of course I'll run again. And the thing is that I'll get a sense of whether people want me to remain as the mayor, from the feedback that I get. And I do get a lot of feedback, very positive.